want to thank everyone that was able to come out to Community Coffee. If you were unable to make it this month, I hope you can come next month. Today we talked about shelter and how New Horizons does it in kind of a unique way. And we talked about the history of shelter. We talked about how shelter historically was modeled after the work that churches and parishes did to provide support to people who found themselves with housing instability. They put up mats in the basement of their gathering space and they provided as much care as they possibly could. And that model got continued through even the professionalization of human services and social services. And even New Horizons offered shelter for the longest time by offering what we call congregate care, which is mats on a floor, all in the same room, sometimes 2, sometimes 1 feet apart, depending on how busy we were. And as the pandemic happened, there was all sorts of questions, not just about public health that came out, but questions about, is this the best? Is this the best way to provide support and care to people who are experiencing really high levels of trauma? And the answer was a pretty resounding no. This can't be the best model that we can come up with. And how do we provide more individual spaces for young people? And there was lots of fears in it. We had never done it. This was not a model that was done very broadly. We were scared about what happens when young people are less visible within the shelter space, what will happen to things like the substance use crisis and overdose and mental health crisis if you can't see it as visibly. And so there was a lot of trepidation, but through a lot of work and conversations with both staff and young people, we set out to launch what is the Nest on Third, which has essentially taken every bed that New Horizons had, 30 beds, and put them into hard-walled individual rooms. And it has been this incredible transition. We have seen so many positive things that have happened as a result of that. We have seen a huge reduction in incidents that would often happen in shelter. We have seen an enormous increase in how many young people are coming to use our shelter. We have seen an enormous amount of consistency among those that are in our shelter coming back, so that we are able to build more continuity of care and consistent relationships. It has been, in my experience within human services for 20 years, probably one of the more immediate and quick changes for the positive that I've ever seen. And this is really a testament to what it means and to listen more thoroughly around how to provide trauma-informed support. I think this was a really good opportunity for New Horizons to once again press into being highly youth-centric, really focused on what it means not just to provide care, but to provide care in the most thoughtful and the most loving and the most gracious way possible. And if you're ever interested in seeing it, we would love to have you come and do a tour of our Nest on Third. And it's a project, and it is a shelter that we are extremely proud of and think it offers support in a way that is really exemplary.